Friday nights with me. Christmas is coming up. Everyone wants to buy those mistletoes and nutcrackers. Anyway, remember the cheap knockoffs that we all buy from the internet that is being shipped from China in a few days that we'll be gifting our relatives saying that they are branded items? Well, guess what? This month, the prices of products made in China are going to increase because President Tariff is back again.
Life would be much easier, although I enjoy doing it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. So I'm taking on China. I'm taking on China on trade. And you know what? We're winning.
Donald Trump hates eating healthy food like vegetables and fruits, so he obviously doesn't want to be the only unhealthy citizen in the United States. So he started to apply tariffs on produce like green, healthy, hearty avocados this past year. First, avocado prices started reaching the sky, and so did people's cholesterols and heart problems in California. I mean, what is wrong with us Californians? We put avocados in everything. Face masks, drinks, schools, babies, and even dogs. California will be covered with avocados. We will be called Calavado. Well, now, everything we own is going to be expensive from clothes to technology.
The China trade deal is dependent on one thing. Do I want to make it? Because we're doing very well with China right now, and we can do even better with a flick of a pen. And China's paying for it. And China has the worst year by far that they've had in 57 years. So we'll see what happens. But we're doing very well right now, and I gave the farmers, as you know, $28 billion and had a lot left over because the farmers were targeted by China. I gave them $28 billion over a 2-year period, and that got them whole. That was everything that China took out. I gave them from the tariffs that China paid us, and I had billions left over, many billions left over.
So you don't really have a deadline?
I have no deadline, no.
In
In some ways, I think it's better to wait till after the election. You want to know the truth? I think in some ways it's better to wait till after the election.
Tariffs are mandatory taxes that should be paid when exporting and importing products. President Donald Trump is considering applying stricter trade laws by applying more tariffs on other countries. Donald Trump has alerted China that he will not be ending the tariff war with them. Instead, he will be applying more tariffs on steel and aluminum that are exported from Argentina and Brazil. Literally, Donald Trump is passing tariffs on international trade, as he did in Puerto Rico, passing on toilet papers to the hurricane victims. You get a tariff, you get a tariff, everyone gets a tariff. Phase 2 of tariffs on China will be put in effect starting from December 15, 2019 on more than $250 billion of goods. As of now, $350 billion is already being targeted from the previous tariffs. Starting from December 15, 2019 on more than $250 billion of goods. As of now, $350 billion is already being targeted from the previous tariffs. 10 days right before Christmas. This means that any Christmas presents that are being delivered at your door will be taxed extra. Why is everything made in China? Let's give other countries a try. Even though the tariffs are on trade with other nations, but many American citizens, such as farmers, will also be affected by it. Tariffs that were issued earlier this year have increased farm bankruptcies by 24%. Even though the whole world knows that everything is made in China, but China buys its agricultural products from the US, so when our intelligent president decided to play with international trade, thinking that China would just agree to His Highness, that he didn't think of the unintended consequences the US will be affected by if other nations also try to play with him. Donald Trump loves to enjoy riding in his cars like BMW, Mercedes, and huge ass SUVs and collecting motorcycles. But guess what, Donald Trump? Those are produced in China and other nations that you will be applying tariffs on. Many white farmers in the South were expecting Donald Trump to make their lives easier, as it is said in this upcoming video.
My name is John, and I'm a corn, soybean, and cattle farmer in Alabama. I voted for Donald Trump thinking that he would make my life easier, but I'm hurt. What have I done? I'm struggling to keep providing for my family since the tariff war started. You see the straw hat I bought from an old meat store, and it was made in China. Now that Donald Trump has started tips with them, now how am I going to save myself from turning into a tomato in this hot blazing weather?
Poor farmer, he's right. What was he thinking while voting during the 2016 elections? I mean, who can say no to this face? I mean, I get it, poor farmers, I get it. I think Donald Trump is right. that he will make America great again after the 2020 elections by starting World War III, because he's creating tensions with every country in this world, with the United States, Mexico, China, Brazil, Argentina, Iran, Syria, and so many others. Which country is next? I think every month, like how managers choose their employee of the month, Donald Trump chooses his country of the month. He passed a tariff for France as well, for the products wine, porcelain, and handbags from a 3% tax to 100%. Tariffs on international trade have raised concerns among economists for an upcoming recession in 2020. And here is an opinion of an economist, a professor at Berkeley, and advice for Donald Trump.
Welcome to Kathleen Talk, where we make economics sexy. We're going to talk here about Trump's plan. It's pretty big. I know, that's what she said. But here we have an issue. S stands for supply. And when we put a tariff, which is a tax on the consumers, it's more expensive for them to buy their item. So the suppliers have a decrease in what they're going to give to the consumer. And then what happens to the consumer's price? Here was the original price, Donald, without tariffs. Now we're paying a higher price. And there's going to be less of it, Donald. Less of it at a higher price. Me sad. Or we should say it in, before the chicken nuggets that you get, or the Big Macs that you get, was $7. But now they're going to have a tariff, causing excess supply for the farmers and less demand. And then your poor chicken nuggets are going to be more expensive. Please, Donald, do it for the number 6 meal. Don't do the tariffs.
Yes, please, Donald Trump, listen to the voices of the citizens and your well-wishers. Please, please, I beg you, please. The upcoming recession can cause many Americans to lose their jobs, increasing unemployment and homelessness rates. On that note, many people like me should start saving to auction for a house that has gone for foreclosure. Many homeowners will lose their jobs and are not able to afford mortgages. Donald Trump is worried about private companies from China will be providing information about citizens and about our nation, but what about the U.S. government using technology to spy on American citizens? Donald Trump wants to protect American citizens from other nations, but what about a Russian company selling American citizens' facial identity to the Russian government? I mean, look at this picture. The Russian government can use my switch gender face to send a spy in the United States that looks like my sibling. But what was Donald Trump doing then? Taking photos with his wife to see if they can switch gender roles so he can see through his wife's lenses what his wife goes through. After all, marrying Donald Trump is not an easy job. It must be tiring for her to catch up with her husband so she doesn't feel lonely when walking in public. I mean, the first lady is having a hard time with him, that she doesn't even want to hold his hand. I mean, I agree with her. Why would anybody want to marry someone or even hold hands with who wants to marry his very own daughter?
That if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Donald Trump has been wanting to build a wall between the borders of Mexico and the United States.
We're going to build the wall. We have no choice. We have no choice. Build that wall. 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 Build that wall.
But has he thought through that the steel that he wants to create the strongest wall will be exported from Argentina? They will be paying tariffs on for steel. I mean, what a smart guy. I wonder why he got married 3 times. Because he doesn't know what is right for him. It is true that applying tariffs on steel will be providing 26,000 more jobs for Americans. But 432,747 jobs will be lost. Math and numbers existed during the boomer generation, right? Even a 10-year-old knows that 432,747 is a bigger number than 26,000. I mean, Donald Trump doesn't know a lot about the economy and numbers, but he knows simple mathematics, right? Applying tariffs might seem a beneficial idea for the United States, but it is not the best idea. You are listening to this, Donald Trump? Can you hear this? Can you hear this? It is not the best idea. Many jobs will be lost, and you will be the reason for it. Do anything else, bomb a country, start a war, but don't torture American citizens. Like, literally do anything. Please, the whole world is begging to you. Please. Hopefully our prayers are heard by the elf on the shelf so Santa Claus can make a miracle so everyone can purchase knockoffs for Christmas. Well, it's been a great talk on a Friday night. I wish you all a good night, a happy weekend, a Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.